Good morning, students. I am Dr. Rituraj Soigia speaking from Mechanical Engineering Department, IIT Guwahati. So today I will show you how to calibrate a pressure sensor using a deadweight tester and a data acquisition system. So this experiment is a part of your laboratory course number ME226 or ME326. So I will describe the components of this experiment one by one. First of all, I will show you what is a pressure sensor and how it works. So this is a pressure sensor that will be given to you, which you have to calibrate. This particular pressure sensor is a piezoresistive type pressure sensor. I hope you know what is a piezoelectric effect. The piezoelectric effect works in some particular materials which when subjected to strain or stress or which when subjected to pressure generates a small EMF. So there is a piezoresistive crystal inside this pressure sensor. So when that crystal is subjected to pressure, you can see the crystal is inside this pressure sensor. When that crystal is subjected to pressure, then a small EMF will be generated. So if you can find out, if you can note down this EMF, and if you know how much pressure is being applied to the crystal, you can use this piezoresistive pressure sensor as a pressure sensor. So that is what calibration of a pressure sensor is all about. You have to find out what is the EMF being generated and what is the pressure that is applied on the crystal. So these piezoresistive type pressure sensors should be supplied with a certain amount of input voltage, that is called an excitation voltage. So to supply the input excitation voltage to this pressure sensor, we have a component that is the DC power supply. So as you can see, this is the DC power supply. Similarly, to get the output of the pressure sensor, we need a data acquisition system which can record the EMF. So this is the data acquisition system which you will be using in your experiment. And this is the deadweight tester. This is the deadweight tester that you will be using to generate the pressure on the pressure sensor. So as you can see, this is the pressure sensor that we have already fitted to the deadweight tester. And here are some deadweights which you will be using in this deadweight tester to apply the pressure on the pressure sensor. First of all, we have to make the connections, electrical connections to the pressure sensor. That is, we have to connect the excitation voltage and also the output voltage for this pressure sensor. So as you can see, there are 4 terminals, but there are some electrical connections which are already specified for this pressure sensor. So I will show you that electrical connections diagram. So this is the electrical connection for the particular pressure sensor that you will be using. This is a 2-wire system. So as you can see, 2 of the terminals, they are connected to the power supply, DC power supply, and also the data acquisition system, that is the indicating instrument in series. So this is the electrical connection that you have to make to your pressure sensor. So you see the specification of this particular pressure sensor that you will be testing. You can see its range is 0 to 50 bar. In terms of EMF, its range is 4 to 20 milliampere, and it requires an excitation voltage of 24 volt DC. So this is the data acquisition system that you will be using to record the output from the pressure sensor. So now let me explain about this data acquisition system. So if you observe, there is a component. This is called a multiplexer. If we remove the cover of this multiplexer, you can see there are certain number of channels, 22 number of channels to be exact. So as you can see, these are the channels. So 20 of these channels are used to measure voltage or other frequency, resistance, etc. And last two channels, that is the channel number 22 and channel number 21. So these are the channel number 22 and channel number 21. So these channels are particularly used to measure current. Since your pressure sensor will give you the output in milliampere, so we will be using channel number 22. So as you can see, we have already fitted the output from your pressure sensor. This is the output from your pressure sensor. We have fitted it to channel number 22. So we will now put the cover for this multiplexer and fit it to the data acquisition system. So this is the back side of the data acquisition system. As you can see, there are 3 slots for fitting 3 multiplexers. So we will fit our multiplexer in the first slot. So So this is known as address number 1. So for the excitation voltage, we are using the DC power supply, as you can see on your screen. So we are supplying a 21.8 volt to the pressure sensor. So as you can see, this is the connections, and the connections, the wires are going all the way through this according to the circuit diagram that I had already shown you. So let us now switch on the data aggregation system. So as you can see, since it was already settings were already done, so it is directly showing you the channel number 22. As you can see, this is the code, the first code number 1. Number 1 shows for address number 1. As we had fitted the multiplexer in address 1, so it is showing 1, and the second 2 digits are the channel number, that is the channel number 22. So since this channel was already set up for this particular data aggregation system, it is already showing you the output of the pressure sensor in terms of milliampere DC. So in case you have to do it yourself, I will show you how to do it. So first of all, let us switch off this channel. So you see, you select this channel number using this knob. You can select any channel you want, but for this particular case, you will be using channel number 22. So let us select channel number 22. It is showing off. So you have to click on this, you have to switch on this measure. Then it is showing channel off. You have to rotate it till you get your desired thing. You need DC current, or you need AC current, or you need whatever you need, but in your case it is DC current. So you just move to DC current, then select measure, finally select auto range, then select the digits, then it is done, and it will show you the value. This is the dead weight tester that you will be using for your calibration. So as you can see, this has several components. This is the port where you will fit your pressure gauge that has to be calibrated. So this is the pressure gauge that has to be calibrated. So this port is internally, it is connected to another port. So in this port, this is a weight carrier where you can apply the pressure using some dead weights as this. So this is a 0.5 bar pressure dead weight. Similarly, you have some other pressure dead weights. So whenever you apply the pressure here, that will be transmitted to your pressure gauge to be calibrated through an internal circuit such as this. So that pressure, this is the known pressure that you will be applying, and your pressure will be transmitted to this by the Pascal's law. So you have another ram here. This is the rotating ram, which is used to rotate in the clockwise direction to lift this weight carrier. So the various components of the dead weight tester are shown in this picture. You can pause your video and have a look. Now if you observe carefully, you can see there is a blue marking in the shaft under the weight carrier. So this blue marking, whenever you take your readings, this blue marking should be in line with this surface. So now let us add an additional pressure of 1 bar. So as soon as I put the 1 bar pressure, the plate moves down. So you have to use this rotating ram in the clockwise direction, and it will move up. And once the blue marking comes to the surface, and aligns with the surface, at that moment you have to take your reading. The full operating procedure for your dead weight tester is given in this manual. So you can have a look at this by pausing your video. So you need to bring that blue marking to the surface of the this part using this rotating ram. After that only you need to take the reading. So now let us see that mark has already come to the surface. So this is the pressure that you are applying on your pressure sensor. Now let us see what is the reading being shown on the data aggregation system. So you can see for 0.5 bar pressure, it is showing a current of 4.15 milliampere. Now we will go on increasing the pressure in steps of 5 bar or 1 bar, whatever you want according to your convenience. 0.4. So now we are putting an additional pressure of 0.1 bar. So the total pressure is 0.5 plus 0.1, that is 0.6 bar. So correspondingly, the data aggregation system will show a pressure of 4.18, 4.12 milliampere. Now let us apply 2 bar plus 0.5, that is 2.5 bar pressure on the deadweight tester and see what is the reading that is shown in the data aggregation system. You can see it is showing 4.8. So all the readings you have to note down in a tabular format, which we will be supplying to you in this sort of tabular format. Serial number 1, what is the applied pressure you are putting, then what is the output current in upscaling and what is the output current downscaling, then finally hysteresis. Upscaling and downscaling is nothing, but in case of upscaling, you have to note down the value while you are going on increasing the pressure in steps. Similarly, once you reach the highest pressure, then you go on decreasing the pressure. In this case, you will be using the downscaling column. So you will observe some difference in values between the upscaling value and the downscaling value. So that is known as hysteresis. You also have to note down the hysteresis for each and every pressure sensor, each and every pressure value. So finally, you have to write your report using all the procedures that will be sent to you. These are the test procedures, and what is the thing you have to do? You have to plot the graph. You have to generate a correlation between measured pressure and millivolt or milliampere. In your case, it will be milliampere. So in this way, you have to prepare your report, do some error analysis, and send back the report to us. Thank you.